So I'm Josh Fielstra with Native Instruments, and I'll be showing you guys a little bit about Maschine. Maschine is our big product announcement this year, one of 3 announcements we've made at NAMM. And Maschine is a hardware and software combination. It leverages the classic Groovebox style of working. People who are familiar with Grooveboxes will appreciate the features inside here, but we've taken the basic Groovebox idea and then in typical Native Instruments fashion enhanced it significantly. We focused specifically on making the workflow as absolutely easy as possible, but also focused on making it integrate very well with your existing gear. So I'm going to show you a little bit about some of the features very briefly here. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look for a kit using Maschine, using the browser. You have about 5 gigabytes of content inside Maschine across about 14,000 different samples. But Maschine makes it very, very easy to find just the kit that you're looking for using the browser. I'm going to tell Maschine that I'd like to load a kit. I'll hit the browse button. I'll then tell it I want to load one of the vinyl kits. These are all kits that are sampled from records and the like. I'll load this first one, the Dracula Eastwood Kit. Like so. The second you bring a kit in, or an instrument, you can also bring instruments in, you have a lot of different instruments in the library, you'll also get a pattern immediately with that particular instrument. I'm playing a pattern back. I can switch between patterns on the fly, or I can make my own pattern. I'll start from a blank slate. I can turn a metronome on, and now I can start my own pattern. I'm just a hair off, so I can use Maschine's quantize function, but unlike other quantize, I can still preserve the groove. I'll use quantize 50%, which even though my notes are a little bit off, quantize 50% will just move them halfway to the absolute position on the grid. It'll tighten up the pattern, still keep it kind of loose with a lot of human feel though. So now I can switch between those different patterns I have inside here. You've got a lot of effects inside Maschine. I can add an effect, for instance, to that snare drum just by going into my browser once again and tell it that I want to load an effect. Let's say I want to load a reverb. I've got lots and lots of different kinds of effects in here. I could put a reverb on the snare drum, or I could put something more interesting like a delay, distortion. I could add a distortion sound to this particular effect. Let's go ahead and do that. And there's my effects on the new kit. I've got some distortion in there. I've got a little reverb on the snare. Pretty simple to do. You can also sample using Maschine. If I want, I can sample an external source and bring it in. I can also sample an internal source. I could sample this kick that we have playing right now. If I sample this right now, I'll hit start. It'll wait for the bar to come around, punch in, immediately punch out. I now have a sampled version of that kit, that loop we were just hearing. You can also see in the software, I've got the waveform right up there. From here, I might want to decide I want to slice it. I can take all these individual hits inside this kit, slice them up, put them on a new group, and all the individual parts of that loop are now on their own pad. And of course, since it's sliced, it's going to be sensitive to tempo change, like so. You can also chain patterns together to make larger songs. If I, for example, wanted to make a finished song out of this, I could work with all kinds of different scenes. Scenes are collections of patterns. I could have one pattern from one kit playing, another pattern from another kit playing, chain that all together in one big song. And then when I get that sounding exactly the way I want, here's a completed song using one pattern from one kit, another pattern from a different kit. Go to a new scene, uses different patterns, chain these all together, and it'll play right from the start, chain them all together, and then I can deliver this whole thing as audio. When I'm ready, I can tell Maschine, export audio. I can export the whole thing as a 2-channel master that will go to CD, or I could export the individual kits as their own WAV files that I could then drag into a sequencer, line them up and get their own individual parts. But what a lot of people are going to want to do, and one of the prime points of Maschine, is that this will also run as a plugin. So you don't have to deal with audio if you don't want at all. I can take this entire thing, load it into Pro Tools, Cubase, Sonar, etc., and work with it as a plugin, get individual drum sounds on their own tracks, for example, or work with it more inside my DAW, add more parts. Integration, very, very important. And that's kind of Maschine in a quick nutshell. You can find some more information on our site. There are some example videos, some tutorial videos, and a lot more information available there as well.